All right, the dreaded husband is back. However, I did say I would tell you this story, so I will tell you this story as the last of the things I can record today. And hopefully I'll get a little more consistent about recording in general, because I do have good ideas. All right, so this is a fun story. This is the story of the one and only time I have literally been followed home because of road rage. Yeah, don't mess with people up north. They are cray-cray. More cray-cray than down in the ghetto, anyway. So it was one day, I was driving back from work, and I'll admit, I drive kind of nuts. I told you about that in another video. Do as I say, not as I do. And I was bugging this poor woman because she wouldn't go fast enough, and I was doing my horrible tailgating thing, and just sort of messing with her for a while, and then I backed off, because I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to pass you anyway. Now, one of my neighbors claims the first time he saw me drive, he thought I was that guy in Roadhouse that drives back and forth, and they're singing that one old song. I had to go look it up. And I'm like, yeah, that is kind of me. Anyway. So, we're almost at the juncture where you have to turn right to go down to the canyon where my house is. And I'm like, okay, well, we've been like half racing each other, half not racing each other, passing, giving each other the bird, the usual things. And I turn down, I go right, and I'm like, bye, it was fun racing you, girl. Because there are some people that, like, I assume they know that we're playing when we, change and cut each other off and do that sort of shit. I am. And actually, for the last 2 miles, when I'd given up trying to get around her a third, fourth time, all I was doing was sitting there going back and forth in my own lane. La 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 la, but you're driving slow. I'm just gonna do this right behind you. I'm a goof. So that's what I was doing before I turned right to go down to the canyon. So I turn right, and I think nothing of this. I'm like, okay, 2 bitches got road rage, it happens. I go down to the canyon and I go home. Now she's actually, because she went left, I see her just as I'm going down the hill into the canyon that she's turned around and is following me. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why is she following me? Oh boy. And I say, oh boy, because we frequently have what we call leafers, and it's that time of year for the leafers to come anyway, because, we have a gorgeous forest to take pictures of, and they frequently, for whatever reason, want to park on my lawn across the road that I paid a lot of money for. And every time they do that, I have to go out and yell at them, and for some reason, I never understand why people do that up here and assume people will be okay. Because, I would try that maybe downstate, but up here, I assume everyone's armed. So I would not go where it says no trespassing, because you might get struck with a bullet. So yeah, this woman starts following me, and I'm like, oh crap, please do not tell me she is psycho and crazy, and we are going to have a time today. Well, I go down, I get, down to where my house is, and I pull in my house, and getting out of the car or whatever, and apparently she pulled up behind me, and goes, yells out the window to my husband, you gotta tell your wife how to drive, and he just sort of looks at her like, that dog won't hunt. Good luck with that, lady. And I'm like, you followed me home? Seriously? And she's yelling things at me out the door like you do. And I get down to the edge of my driveway, and she's like, I'm going to take a picture of your plane. I'm like, all right, I'll take a picture of your plane. And somehow that threw her off, because she started backing up the road real slow. I'm like, go get a camera. Because she claimed she called the cops. So I had him go get a camera. Or the camera phone anyways, and I ran inside and called the cops, and I'm like, look, this is not an emergency call. If you need to do anything else, just put me on hold and say, okay, this is bullshit, we both know it. And I called the dispatch, and the dispatch was like, we haven't sent anybody on that neck of the woods. I'm like, well, would there be another one to call? It's 911, but maybe Newaygo would field it and not Big Rapids, who knows. And they're like, no, nobody's called in about that. And I'm like, okay, I figured she was bluffing. Now at this point, I come back down, and he's tried to take her picture, and she's backed herself up past my neighbor's house. And I end up walking out and probably yelled something like, you didn't call the cops, but I got your plates. No, I got your plates. My husband's like, you know what? I really, really wish we knew who she was, because I'm tempted to go and tell her man, like, oh, look, our wives are crazy and drive crazy, and it's just a game, and tell your wife not to take it so personally. Because honestly, that is the only time someone has followed me all the way home. Now, granted, it was closer to home than most of my road rage incidents. Like the other one I had that where someone followed me that's really memorable was driving around Detroit. I didn't know where I was, and I was trying to pick something up for the spouse. And this guy in a van, and all I did was honk at him because I was in that tiny four-seater car I told you about earlier, or two-seater car. And it was this big van that was merging on top of me. This is the downside of having little cars for those of you that have never had a tiny car. People don't look in their blind spots. And they get real offended when you honk at them, even though it's like, I'm just honking so you don't kill me. I've I have countless numbers of tractor trailers that have tried to murder me in that car. So, needless to say, I was a little sensitive. And I just honked at him like, don't kill me, we're cool. And I went on my merry way. And he decided, apparently, my honking at him to tell him to not kill me was not the way to go. Because he started following me and followed me off the exit ramp. And I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm in Southfield, where people are crazy and armed. And they're, oh God, please don't come kill me. Fortunately, he finally took off on another side street or something, but yeah, I saw him follow me off the freeway and give me yet another bird, and I was like, dude, I just honked at you so you wouldn't kill me. It's not a comment on your driving other than look at your blind spot. And I'm frustrated right now because my horn is kind of intermittent, so that's fun too, especially with deer. Or in my case, turkeys. I had turkeys the other day, which was even more annoying because turkeys, there's lots of them. You know, deer, there's usually a small herd, but yeah, turkeys don't care. And I didn't have a horn, so that's also fun because you're basically sitting on the side of the road hoping nobody, hits you in the rear end because you're parked. And you're like, go. I can't honk at you. So go. That's the fun thing about living up north. Seriously, the wildlife. Within 6 months of my coming up here, I did have one evening where I'm pretty sure I ran over 3 porcupines. And I tried to straddle them. That was the messed up thing. I straddled each and every one and tore off their poor backs. I could feel it when I hit them. I was like, oh God, I tried, and I don't want to hit porcupines because I don't know what those needles do. So yeah, that's my story about having someone come follow me. Dan's got another good one. I think he was on his motorcycle bike. That was it. He was on his bike. He's a long-haired, tattooed, biker-looking dude. On the side of the road and was working on something, or was, in his little tool bag or something, and someone was like, you need to learn how to drive, because apparently he had done something. I forget what the exact details are. And he told me, it's like, my expression was just like, seriously, you're going to yell at a biker on the side of the road who is messing around in his toolkit and has God knows what in there. And you're going to tell him off from your car. Like, seriously, people, think. All right. Well, I guess that's all I can record today. I'll try to come up with some better ones for later.